Olá! Hello, everyone. Welcome, everybody. My name is Isabella. I'm just going live on Instagram as well. Welcome. I will wait a little bit until everybody starts to join this live today. In the meantime, please give me feedbacks if you can hear me well or if there is an echo or anything I should know before I start. Because once I start, I never stop. I tend to talk a lot, and it will be very nice if you guys can participate during the live and ask your questions because after I explain about the express entry, I'll be answering as many questions as I can. Okay, just so you guys know, today I'm going to talk about express entry. So what is express entry, and how can you increase your points, and also the predictions for express entry federal skilled worker. When is that going to come back? It's been paused since December 2020. So many people asking us daily, when is it going to return, Isabella? And the answer is, I'm not sure, but I have an idea and I will be talking about that today. Okay, so I see that many people are joining us. Welcome, everybody. Again, we'll be talking about express entry. Okay, just so before I start, please confirm if you guys can hear me well. Uh, just waiting for your guys' confirmation and start sending here your questions, your comments. That will be very welcome. Okay, so I believe we are ready to start. Thanks for the feedback, Laura. Okay, let's start then. Well, express entry is something that we are always talking about here, and I want to explain why. The first reason is because express entry itself is not an immigration program. So I want you guys to understand that. So what is express entry, Isabella? Well, express entry is a system that takes care of other immigration programs. So there are mainly three programs, but we also consider the PNPs, which are the provincial programs, and I will briefly talk about them. The first one, and the well-known, is federal skilled worker. Why is this a good option? Because for this program, you don't need to have a job offer, you don't need to have work experience in Canada. So if you are a good candidate, and whenever you are, you don't need to be in Canada, you can have a chance to immigrate to Canada. You don't even need to have stepped in Canada before in your life. Depending on your points, you will be a good candidate. Okay, this program considers many factors. So here I'm going to mention some of them, which is language, so your level of English or your level of French, your age. So pay attention. After 30, you start losing 5 points for express entry. So if you're becoming older, don't wait too long to open your express entry profile. Let's do it as soon as possible because otherwise you're going to lose points. Okay. So age, English or French level, level of education, qualified work experience. And by qualified work experience, I want you guys to know that we are here talking about NOC A, B, or zero. Okay, so please start getting used with these terms. What's NOC, Isabella? Well, the government separates certain positions in NOCs. So we consider NOC 0, which are those NOCs for management positions, NOC A, which are usually positions that you need to have a degree or some special course in order to be able to be in that position. For example, a doctor, a dentist, a psychologist, all those engineer. You cannot be any of those things if you haven't studied for that. And NOC B are positions that are still considered skilled positions, but they're more simple positions. For example, a butcher, cook is a skilled position, administrative assistant is a skilled position, okay? And we have NOC C and D, which is considered semi-skilled. And unfortunately, if you have a work experience and you're NOC C and D, you cannot apply for express entry, okay? What else it's considered? If you have a job offer, it's not a requirement, but if you do have a job offer in Canada, you can be awarded more points, okay? What else? Work experience in Canada, you can be awarded more points. If you speak both English and French, you can be awarded more points, okay? And it's important to mention that for the federal skilled worker, we need to be concerned about a filter that they do before to make sure that you qualify for this program or not. And what is this filter? Well, you need to get at least 67 points in order to qualify for this program. If you have less than 67 points, unfortunately, you will not qualify. And when you try to open your profile for express entry, you will not be in the pool of candidates. Your profile will be found ineligible, okay? So we need to pay attention in the 67 points before the points in the express entry itself, okay? So this is the first program inside express entry. The second program inside express entry is Canadian Experience Class. This is a great program as well. And the criteria is a little bit simpler. All you have to do is 1 year of work experience in Canada. Again, qualified work experience. So I'm talking about positions in NOC A, B, or 0. Again, C and D don't work here, okay? This work experience needs to be in Canada and needs to be authorized work experience. So illegal work will not count. Work during the studies will not count, okay? And also you need to have English or French test. If your work position is in NOC A or 0, the minimum you need to get for English or French is CLB 7. If your work position is in NOC B, the minimum you need to get is CLB 5, which is really positive because CLB 5 is a pre-intermediate. It's not even considered intermediate. So for those who have a lower English or French level, you still can qualify for this program, okay? It's important to mention that qualifying for a program and having a real chance of being invited are two different things, okay? So that's why I'm explaining here today what is express entry and how you can increase your points, because the higher your points, the better your chances of receiving an invitation to apply. Okay, the third program is called Federal Skilled Trade Works. So this program is a little bit more specific. You need to be working in certain trade positions. Okay, so butcher is an example, carpenter is an example. Okay, and for this program, the level of English is lower. However, you will require a job offer. And by job offer, I mean it's not only finding a job in Canada, but is going through an application process, which is called LMIA. So it's a little bit more complicated, not impossible, but you need to go through this step before. If you are in Canada and you have a certification of qualification in Canada, then you don't need a job offer. But if you're applying from outside, you will require a job offer for this program. Okay. The fourth program is the Provincial Nominee Program. So this is basically for those people that have received the nomination of a province, and now they will receive 600 points in their express entry profile, and then they will go through the federal part inside the express entry. It's important to mention here that not every single nomination or provincial program is inside the express entry, okay? For each province, they have some provincial programs, and some of them are outside express entry, and some of them are inside the express entry. So for those programs that are inside the express entry, you go first for the province, and then after for express entry itself. Okay, so I talked briefly here. Of course, there's more things that I need to talk about, but here's just so you guys understand a little bit what is express entry. So I talked about the requirements for you to qualify or not. Okay, now I want to show you guys what you need to about the points, so you have an idea how many points you can get in order to qualify and have your higher chances to immigrate. So for those people that are watching me on Instagram, here is my invite to join us on YouTube. Why? Because I will be sharing here my screen, and unfortunately, I cannot do that on Instagram. Okay, so if you can, please join me on YouTube instead of Instagram. That will be awesome. So here I am sharing my screen. Please let me know if you guys can see my screen. Let me just go there. You guys see my screen? I will do like that. I will first divide my screen. I'm not sure you guys can see it. I believe now you can. I'm sharing half and half of my screen here. So just it's a quickly mention about the points. Okay, so for age, if you are married, you can get up to 100 points, and if you are single, you can get up to 110 points. Education, if you're married, 140, and if you're single, 150. For first language, if you're married, 128, and if you are single, 136. For the second language, doesn't matter if you're married or single, you're gonna get the same maximum of 25 points. And for Canadian work experience, you can get up to 70 points if you're married and 80 points if you're single. Now we have the skill transferability combos. That's a great way to improve your points, to increase your points. And here you can get up to 100 points and 50 in education and language, and 50 education and Canadian word, and 50 points foreign work and language education. Okay, and then we also have additional points. So here I already mentioned, if you worked in Canada, you can get additional points. If you have studied in Canada, you can receive 50 points if your program of studies was up to 2 years, from 1 or 2 years. And you can get 30 points if your program of studies in Canada was above 3 years, okay? And also you can receive 15 points if you have a sibling who is a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident of Canada. And here is the highlight of this live. You can get up to 50 points if you have CLB 7 in French, which is an intermediate level. So it doesn't even need it to be high, right? Advanced. You can get up to 50 points if you have CLB 7 in French, combined with at least CLB 5 in English. Okay, so if you have French and English, your points are going to be very high. Okay, if you have only French and is at least CLB 7, you will get 25 additional points. If you have a job offer, you also get more points. Okay, so this is just me sharing a little bit how much you can get for everything. Let me stop share, and here I'm back to the screen. Thank you for who joined me on YouTube. Now that I explained about express entry, I want to give you guys some tips, some advices on how to increase your score. Okay, so one of them I already mentioned is the age. Unfortunately, you cannot stop, and that's good, because if you're having birthdays, it's because you're alive, right? But don't wait too long. Okay, it's very common during my consultations that I hear clients saying, oh, it's always been my dream to immigrate to Canada, but life happened and I had kids and now I cannot immigrate. So guys, don't wait too long, because again, after 30, every year you lose 5 points. When you reach 45, you get 0 points for age. Okay, so for those who are older, in order to compensate for the age, you need to have a very high English level or French level, or the combination of both, very high education level, maybe a job offer. Those are things that you can do if you're older, in order to compensate the points that you have lost for age factor. Okay, another thing that can increase your points is a second level of education. So it's very common that many people have a bachelor degree. Okay, but if you have also a post graduation, that will help you a lot, and that will help you not only in the education level, because remember here I showed the education level that you can get points, but that will help you in the transferability combos. And what is this combo? It is when you achieve certain level of English, and then they start multiplying with other factors. So they get your English score, and they multiply by your work experience, and then they get your English score, and then they multiply by your work experience, and then your points will increase a lot. It's like a boom of points. Okay, so adding a second education level is very positive. For those who already have a master's or a PhD, is also great, because you're going to get more points for higher education. But if you have a bachelor degree only, studying a post-graduation education is very positive in order to increase your points. Okay, English level and French level, that's also very positive. And again, it's positive not only because of the points awarded by language, but for the combos as well. Why? Because if you achieve CLB 7 in everything, which is the minimum you have to achieve in order to qualify for the federal skilled worker, unfortunately, you will not award any points for the combos. And the combos here, you can increase your points in 100 points. So the combos are very important to get your points higher. So you will start getting points in the combos if you get at least in one of the categories of English or French, if you achieve CLB 9. So if you get CLB 7 in listening, speaking, reading, and you get CLB 9 in writing, that's just an example, okay? Then you will start getting points in the combo. Now, if you get CLB 9 in every single one of them, for English or French, then you're going to get more points in the combos. So again, your points will increase for language, but they will also increase a lot more in the combos. Okay, you will start multiplying, and then you get more points. And if you get 100 points in the combos, then your chances of being invited in express entry are a lot higher. Okay, other things that can increase your points, and these many people don't want to hear, but it's very positive. So if you studied in Canada, you will receive additional points. And also, if you study in Canada in an eligible institution, after you completed your program of studies, you're going to be eligible to apply for a work permit, which is what we call the PGWP, post-graduation work permit. And then with that post-graduation work permit, you will have a chance to work in Canada, and that work will also count more points for you. So having work experience in Canada is very positive. And something that's possible is that you guys can qualify for federal skilled worker, for Canadian experience class at the same time. So you have more chances of being invited. So here I'm talking about the invitation, and I'm not sure if you guys know what this invitation is. So I will explain how the express entry works. If you qualify for one of these programs that I mentioned here, you can open your profile, okay? Once you open your profile, you'll be in a pool of candidates, and you will be waiting the draws, which is the round of invitations. Okay, in a normal day, and when I say a normal day, it's times that are not in pandemic. Okay, the draws happen every 15 days, so every 2 weeks there is a draw, and this draw will determine some points. If you have those points or higher, you will receive what we call ITA, which is invitation to apply. Once you receive that invitation to apply, you will then submit your application and you will pay the fees for the government. You will wait around 6 months. And then after that, most likely your application will be approved if you send everything right, and then you will enter Canada as a permanent resident and not temporary resident. Okay, so it's that simple. But remember, qualifying for a program, being the pool of candidates, is not the same as receiving the invitation to apply. You need to have good points. Okay, because if the draw determines the points as 460 and you have 300, your chances of achieving or receiving an invitation to apply are very, very low. Okay, so we need to work. If your points are low, we need to work in order to increase your points, and then you will have more chances of being invited. The draws, again, they happen every 15 days, and the points are not always the same, so they vary. Okay, and it's important to know that in order to know your real chances of being invited, you need to see, we need to look the round of invitations, right? So we usually look the 6 months before you open your profile, and then we can say, hey, you're very close, or no, your points are very high, your chances of being invited is almost 100%. Or we can say, well, your points are very low and your chances are low, so let's work, let's do some things in order for you to improve your points, to increase them, and then your chances will increase as well. Okay, something that I haven't mentioned but it's very important to mention. Let's say you took IELTS or a French test, okay, and then you qualified and you open your profile. But your profile, your points are very low and your chances are not very good. That's not the end of the world, okay? Once you have your profile open, you can change things and then your points will increase once you change. So you say, oh, Isabella, the day that I took the test, it wasn't a good day. My earphone wasn't working well, so I didn't do good. But I know that if I take the test again, I can improve my score. Well, I will say, go take another test. And then once you achieve a better score, we can then upload the new score in the system and your points will increase. Or you're going to say, Isabella, I already have a bachelor and I'm finishing a post-graduation. Can I open my profile already? I say, yes. Once you finish your post-graduation, we will add this information and your points will increase as well. Okay, so you don't need to be 100% ready in order to open your profile. It's good to open your profile as soon as you are eligible. Why? Because there's a term that we call tie break rule. And what is that? Okay, once the round of invitation says a number, and if you have exactly that number, not everybody that has that points will be invited. Why? Because there is this tie break rule. They will determine a date, and everyone that created the profile before that date will receive the invitation to apply. And those people that haven't opened the profile before that date will not be invited, and we will still in the pool of candidates waiting for the next round of invitation. And I can tell you guys, we've had clients that were out of the job because of the tie break rule, and it's very sad. So if you are already eligible, let's work on your profile, let's gather all your documents, and let's open your profile as soon as possible. And then in the meantime, we can work on things in order to increase your points and for you to have better chances of being invited, okay? Another good thing about having an express entry profile open is because you have a chance of being invited for a province, okay? So we know that there are some provinces that invite people straight from the express entry pool. And I can give you some examples. Alberta is a province that does that. Ontario, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. So each province has the freedom to decide when they want to do this. And this is according to their needs, to their own needs. So, for example, if Calgary is in need of carpenters, then they can start looking in the pool of candidates for people with carpenter experience, and they can invite straight from the express entry profile. Okay, so that can happen. That's very possible. A province that has been doing that quite often is New Brunswick. So having your express entry profile open is also a chance of being invited through the province. If you are invited through any province, you can submit your application to the province. Now pay attention, this is 2 steps application, okay? You submit your application to the province, you pay the fee to the province, wait for the processing time, and once you receive the nomination on that province, you will receive 600 points in your express entry profile, and with 600 points, guys, you will be invited for sure. Okay, 600 points is a lot, so that is very beneficial to be invited by one province. Okay, well, I guess I already explained how express entry works. I talked a little bit about the provinces, about how to increase your points, and now I want to talk to you guys about some predictions for the program Federal Skilled Worker. Okay, I don't know if you guys are aware, but since December 2020, we haven't had any draws for this program. Okay, and why? It's because this program will invite people that are outside Canada as well, not only people that are inside. And we are in the middle of a pandemic. Unfortunately, our borders are still closed. So that was a way that the government found in order to avoid people from outside coming. Then they stopped inviting federal skilled worker. But guys, this is temporary, okay? So don't get scared and don't give up of this program, because pretty soon, most likely, this program will return. And why I'm saying that is because this month the borders Canada and United States open. So that's already a huge thing, okay? Because the borders were closed since March last year. And next month in September, the borders will be open for tourists as well. Of course, tourists that are vaccinated, but this is already a huge thing. So we are walking towards normal days again, okay? And it shows us that there is no reason for this program to be paused for any longer, okay? Other than that, very recently, last month, they updated the proof of funds, and the proof of funds is only required for federal skilled worker, is not required for the other programs. So if they updated the amount, it for me shows that they are willing to start inviting this program again very soon. Okay. A third point that I believe that they will be invited federal skilled worker very soon is because last year, by the end of the year, close to November or December, the government increased the target of immigrants. So Canada is in need of immigrants. Okay, attention, it's in need of immigrants, but they want qualified people. So that's why I'm here today to talk about how to increase your points. Okay, we need to make you a good candidate to Canada. Canada doesn't need anyone, they need qualified people. So let's work in order to increase your points. Okay. So increasing the target, Canada, once they stopped this program, which is one of the main programs of immigration, they start creating new programs here inside Canada in order to reach the target. But honestly, guys, they will not be able to reach that target if they don't return with this program soon. So with the borders opening next month, I strongly believe that they will start inviting federal skilled worker again. Can I guarantee that? No, there is nothing official. That's what I think. And that's what I'm talking about, looking what's happening here in Canada, okay? And then I have something to tell you guys, okay? So I told you guys that in order to know if you are a good candidate or no, you need to watch the history of draws and determine if you were too far or if you're close or even higher, right, than the last draws. Well, the last draw for federal skilled worker was at 468 points. That's quite high, okay? But I believe that the tendency is that the points will start going lower. And why I'm saying that? Because once the government increased the target of immigration for the next 3 years, they in the next draw already start inviting more people. So before they used to invite 3,000 people, 3,500 maximum per invitation, per draw, okay? After this announcement of the target increased, they started inviting 5,000, 6,000 people per draw. And if they remove more people from the pool of candidates at once, the pool starts getting empty faster and it makes the points going lower, okay? So that's what happened here inside Canada, okay? So I'm telling you that since December 2020, there was no draws for federal skilled worker. But for the other programs, for the provincial and for the Canadian experience class, the draws are happening normally. And just so you guys know, in January 2021, the draw for Canadian experience class was 461 points. Last draw, which was yesterday, was 404 points. That's a lot. In 8 months, it decreased a lot. And if the same happened to federal skilled worker, those people that have lower points are already having a higher chance of immigrating. Again, that's what I think is going to happen. I cannot guarantee that's going to happen, but I truly believe it will, okay? And another factor that I believe that the points must be lower for federal skilled worker is that before, the round of invitations used to happen at the same time, okay? So the same draw that was for federal skilled worker was for Canadian experience class. However, Canadian experience class are for those people that are inside Canada. And people that are inside Canada have work experience here and they have gained more points for their work experience. Are usually people that studied here and have more points. So usually people that are inside Canada tend to have more points than people outside. And now there was a cleanup of the swimming pool, let's say like that, because they removed all those people that were in the pool of candidates with very high points have already received the invitation to apply. Now the people that are in the pool are people with lower points. So when the draws happen again and they start being unified again, you are not competing with those people with very high points. You are now competing with people that have lower points, which makes the points to go lower again. So I truly believe if you don't have very high points, just wait a little bit. We need to wait for the draw to happen. And with time, the tendency is that the points go lower, okay? Now, one thing that's very important to mention when the first draw happened, the points will probably increase a lot. And why I'm saying that? Because it's been 8 months without any round of invitation, and there are a lot of people there waiting, just there waiting for the invitation to apply. So right now, the pool of candidates for federal skilled worker is full. There are many people there, very, very qualified, that are just waiting for their chance to be invited. And it will make it, let's say, more difficult for you if your points are lower, okay? Then by the time the draws starting happening again and these people start being invited, they will be removed from the pool of candidates. And with time, the tendency is that the points go lower, as I just mentioned, okay? So don't get scared when the round of invitation for federal skilled worker happens again, because most likely the points will have a peak, it will go up, but then with time it probably and most likely will start going down again. Okay, so don't give up, don't get scared, you still have a chance. Okay, now if you don't even qualify for express entry federal skilled worker, and if you're a little bit older or your English level is not good, we can try to look for other strategies. Okay, today the live focus on express entry, so I'll be not talking about other programs, but express entry is not the only way of immigrating to Canada. There are other provinces as well, and we can look your profile and see what's the best chance for you to immigrate. So if what I'm talking here is not for you, don't give up yet. Book a consultation with us. We will look at your profile and see what's the best way for you to immigrate. Okay, guys, I think I already talked way too much, so I'm ready to start answering your questions. Okay, I will first look here on Instagram and then I will go to YouTube. So they are asking if bilingualism is good for 39 years old with a master's degree. If the both languages you speak is English and French, right? Because other languages unfortunately don't count for express entry, and you have a master's degree, I consider you a good candidate. Of course, I will have to look more than that, right? Because there are other things that I need to analyze, but it seems to me that is a good profile. Um, there's a question here asking when the borders open. So already the borders are already open for Canada and United States. And in September next month, very soon, they will open for tourists as well, but they need to be fully vaccinated. And the vaccines accepted, it's Pfizer, Janssen, AstraZeneca, and Moderna. Now let's see, I have lots of questions here on YouTube. What are the first steps to take if I need to apply to permanent residence? Well, this is a very good question. Okay, so the first step is identifying what is the best program for you. Okay, so I will need to analyze your profile and I will see, oh, is express entry, or no, is a provincial program, or maybe you will need to go through a program of studies here in Canada. Okay, so first is identify what's the best program according to your profile, and then taking the next steps, which is probably getting the equivalence of your post-secondary education, getting an English test or a French test, okay, getting the reference letters to prove your work experience, okay. But first we need to identify what's the best for your profile. Bobby, is it possible to update the profile at later date with better IELTS results? Yes. So I mentioned that, and that's a very nice question because yes, it's possible. Many people, and I can tell you by my own experience and my clients' experience, usually in the first time they don't get what they are expecting. So if you get at least the minimum we need in order to open your profile, we can open, and as soon as you get a better test results, we can then update and your points will increase. So no problem. When is the best time to create your profile? The best time to create your profile, as I said, is if you qualify. If you qualify, we can open your profile because the points can start going down. Of course, again, opening a profile and having a real chance of being invited, there are different things. But you can be invited by a province, or the points can go down and you can be invited. And again, in the meantime that you have your profile open, you can be working in order to try to increase your points. I don't speak English and French. I don't. What are my chances to get a job offer in Canada? Well, it's hard to answer this question, right? Because I need to know what's your field of work, what is your education, and I can say that getting a job offer, not being in Canada, is not so simple because they will prioritize people that are inside. I'm saying that is not so simple, but it's not impossible. We have many clients that got a job offer being outside. But of course, if your English level is higher, your chances of being accepted in a job offer is higher, right? Because you need to go through the interview. So the better your English or French level, the higher your chances, for sure. Dennis, does remote work to a Canadian company count as Canadian experience class? Very good question. Okay. In order to be awarded points for Canadian work experience, you need to be authorized to work in Canada and you need to be in Canada. So if you are in any other country other than Canada and you work for a Canadian company, this is not considered Canadian experience class, unfortunately. Okay. So again, you need to be authorized to work in Canada and present in Canada. Rich, how do I prove work experience if I am self-employed? That's a very good question. Okay, so if you are self-employed, we will have to make a compilation of documents in order to prove. So invoices that you have issued, the company agreement, the contract with your clients, letter of an accountant, letters of your clients. If you have tax tax returns, we need to file that as well. So it's many documents that we can compile in one PDF in order to show that work experience. Okay. Remember, self-employed is valid for federal skilled worker, but if you're self-employed in Canada, that's not going to be counted as Canadian work experience. Saad is sending a virtual hug. Virtual hug for you too, Saad. After getting the work permit, can I work in any province? Depends, okay? It depends if your work permit is open or not. If you get an open work permit, then you're free to go whenever you want, except Quebec, because Quebec, you need to have an extra step, okay? Now, if you get your work permit with a job offer, meaning if you had the support of an employer, your work permit is not going to be open, your work permit is going to be closed. You can only work for that company, and if that company is in Ontario, for example, you cannot work anywhere unless it's stated on your work permit, because sometimes the company is located in Ontario, but you are assigned to a project in Alberta. Then if your work permit states that you can work in Alberta, no problem, but you need to follow what is in your work permit. Let's see if I have more questions here. Willie, do you know when the government will start the invitations for federal skilled worker? I guess you just you just joined us here in the live. I just talked about that, but I will repeat for you, no problem. We don't have anything official, unfortunately. However, I believe that next month, and I hope as well, they will start inviting again, because next month they will open the borders for tourists. And in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to pause this program for any longer, considering that Canada needs to reach the target of immigration that was increased last year. And also considering that the economy was affected a lot by the pandemic, and we need people to work and help with the economy. So it does not make sense to keep this program paused for any longer, okay? So I truly believe next month, hopefully, they will start inviting again. Is it a good idea to immigrate to Canada at the age of 41 years old? I have done my MBA with marketing specialization, and how long I can work age-wise? Well, age-wise, you are free to work whenever you want, right? Of course, there is the retirement age, but people retire and keep working. That's normal. But if it is a good idea or no, is up to you. For me, I would welcome people all the time, but we need to analyze your profile and see your chances of immigrating. For 41 years old, you probably already lost a lot of points for age, unfortunately. Consider express entry, but there are many, many other provinces that don't even consider age in order to reward points. So maybe even if we consider a program of studies for you, or if you are lucky enough to receive a job offer here in Canada, that would be very easy for you in order to enter Canada with a job offer. So there are many, many ways. Again, guys, here today I'm focusing on express entry, but there are many other immigration programs. And unless contact us, let's do a consultation. Let me hear more about your profile in order to give you a better answer. Okay. Um, I am electrical technician. I have experience more than 8 years, but my education is very low. Possible get work in Canada. If you get a job offer, you can enter Canada regardless of your education. Okay, work experience is also something that counts a lot of points, and also in the point of view of an employer, they will want to see that you know what you're doing, right? So again, with a job offer, you can get a work permit, but it's not so simple to get a job offer if you are outside Canada. So sometimes we use some strategies, and I can tell you that electrical technician is a very high demand here in Canada and good payment as well. So if you want to increase your chances of receiving a job offer, I would say come as a student, try to make your networking here, and then the moment you receive the job offer, we can change our status from student to work, and then you follow the path as worker. Okay. Let's see if I have any other options. Just looking here on how do I book a consultation? Very good question. So we are a group of consultants here at eVisa. If you are interested in knowing more about your profile, what are your chances of immigration, if express entry is a good option for you or not, book a consultation with us. You can message us here on our on the messenger, or you can even go online on our website eVisa Immigration, and then you can book straight from our website. You can also send an email to contact@evisaimmigration.com. Our team is ready to help you guys going through all this process, and it will be a pleasure helping you determine what's the best strategy according to your profile. Does co-op helps on express entry? In terms of work experience, unfortunately, no. Okay, you need to be working with your work permit and not a co-op work permit. But in terms of education, it will count towards education. Not if it's private, it's not gonna give you the extra 15 or 30 points, but will help you increase your level of education. We have here modeling. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but he's saying, I want to study in Canada. We can also help you with that. We have an education team here ready to help you with education plan. We have partnership with many institutions all around Canada. We can find some courses that is eligible, that will give you the post-graduation work permit after you complete your program of studies, that will increase your points for express entry, and something that is in your budget, something that is related to your area. So again, book a consultation with us. Our education team is ready to help you find a program of studies. Guys, I believe that's it. Let me see if there are more questions here. Okay, I got a new one here. It's easier to get the express entry by Canadian experience class than federal skilled worker. I'm considering going by studies and apply after the experience at work. Me and my wife both speak advanced English and level A2 in French. Willie, I would have to analyze your profile, right? Because maybe you already have points enough for a federal skilled worker, and then you don't need to go through a program of studies. Now, if your points are very low for federal skilled worker, then I would say that coming as a student is a very good strategy in order to increase your points. I'm glad to hear that your English is fluent, and that will already help you to get in a college and also to increase your points for express entry. And I'm glad to hear as well about your French. If you increase a little bit your level, you can get 50 points extra in express entry. So maybe it's better to invest in your French than a program of studies here. Let's talk. Let's book a consultation. I think your profile is very good for express entry federal skilled work. Umesh, contact us, please. It will be a pleasure helping you. I think they already sent you our contact information. Okay, guys, I think that's it. It was a pleasure being here with you. Thank you for everybody that participated, that asked. I hope you guys enjoyed being here as much as I did. Again, if you need any help with your plan, we are ready. We are a group of consultants. We can help you. We will analyze your profile. We will make a plan. We will give you tips in order to improve your chances, and book a consultation with us. Okay, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I don't know, for many of you, maybe it's already Saturday there, but here it's already it's still Friday. But any doubts you have, our contact team is ready to help you as well. Okay. Thank you for being here today. This live will be saved, and I see you guys next time. Bye bye.